Hi everybody, this is Chris.
Hi, this is Elke.
Welcome back to our Wellness Factor podcast. It's been a little while, but we're happy to be back and happy to have you join us.
Yes, exactly. I'm so happy to be back as well, Chris. Nice talking to you as usual, and looking forward for our next, hopefully more podcasts.
Yeah, we'll definitely be continuing. We did have I was going to say a little break, but it's been, let's face it, a little over a year. So, there was some stuff that went down and that delayed things, and Elka's going to talk a little bit about that.
Well, yes, actually, what was a little bit life-changing moments in my life? I don't want to go too much into details, but it was, to be honest, it was not really easy. But I just want to talk a little bit about it. When you go through stuff, they are not easy, whatever it can be. I mean, financial problems, love problems, totally life-changing problems. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Even if you're in that moment and you sit in there in your darkness, you think there's not, but there is. And yes, I just wanted to tell you basically that, we call it primary foods. The secondary foods, primary foods, and the primary foods, how important they are for your health. And I'm not talking about broccoli and kale. I'm really talking about your mental and stress level and just your happiness and everything, how important it is for your entire health. I would say, and that's probably why they call primary food, they are more important than what you eat. I mean, you can sit there in your life eating broccoli all day, not smoking, not drinking, not nothing, but you're just miserable, and that lady next to you smokes and having a good time. I don't encourage smoking, but she's probably healthier than you are. So basically, I just wanted to say how important or how you can get out of these dark times. I mean, sometimes you just have to be in there and let time pass to get your head clear. But yes, it is hard, and sometimes you think just, no, these days I never get over. But in that time, and I can speak now my personal experience, so much good has happened to me, and it was just amazing. And sometimes I didn't really see it, but I saw it more and more. I met so many new people. I knew them, that they were there for me. They helped me. They rebuilt my life, and I'm so blessed to have these people. I mean, like I said, I haven't been knowing them for maybe just a couple months, and here they are giving me everything, trying to pick me up and helping me. And like I said, at the beginning I didn't see it, but now I'm so grateful and so blessed to have these people in my life and see how far I got then 6 months ago. And that's thanks to all this positive energy in my life. And I don't know how I have attracted that, because I was not really positive, to be honest, at all. But positive things happen to me every day and with such an amazing impact. And at some point I was just, I need to get myself up. I cannot just sit there and be miserable. I need to be getting up, get going, moving on, and enjoying, even if I didn't feel like doing anything, just wanted to be in my little hole. I said, okay, now let's get up, do stuff, keep myself busy. The people said, come on, let's go do something. Let's go do some fun stuff. And I did, even I didn't feel like. You need to get yourself busy, your mind busy, everything, that you don't even have time to think about negativity. And the more I did that, the better I got. And I included sports again in my life as well. So I started keep running, swimming, and I just felt great. And then these moments of happiness and greatness just became more and more. And at some point your negativity just shifts and you see the light. And I just wanted to emphasize how important that is, to get your butt moving. I'm sorry to say that, but just to keep moving, get out of that, even you don't feel like. Get somebody you see who loves you or whatever. And if people say, come on, let's go do something, and you don't feel like, because it's just not the right time, it's just one of these days, do it anyways. Do it anyways because these are moments you don't have time to think and sit there and just be miserable. And yeah, that's just basically what I wanted to say. And that's why we kept it silent a little bit with our wellness factor. But like I said, now I'm back because I cannot preach happiness and wellness if I'm not really myself pretty happy. But like I said, I went through that tunnel and we're back, and I'm happy to be back.
That's awesome. And so, listening to what you just said, two things stuck out to me, and one was seeing and or being open to opportunities that present themselves to you. I know
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when we're not feeling well or we're kind of down in the dumps, we tend to focus on the negative stuff, but that
Absolutely.
doesn't mean that there aren't great things happening or presenting themselves to us. It might be something that comes into our path that we don't see, and then it kind of moves on. Whereas if we were open to seeing it, we could take advantage of it and or pursue it in whatever
Yeah.
capacity it was. So seeing and being open to those things and those people, like you said, is a
Mhm.
really big component to getting back on the right track.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes you have to give yourself a little kick, because yeah, I really had days I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to do nothing, and that everything was too heavy for me. I mean, heavy, and it was too. I don't want to do nothing. I just want to lay there. I don't want to talk to anybody. I felt tired, so extremely tired. And then sometimes you just have no choice, which is in my case, I do have a son and I cannot, this is my responsibility not just hang around. And that helped me too. So I had to just get up and go and yeah, these days were actually the better ones. Once I got out and did stuff and was busy, I was like, you know what? This time to be miserable was a lot shorter than if I would have stayed at home. So yeah, it is important to
Yeah.
see that.
And then the other thing that you just mentioned was to keep moving. So
Hmm.
and I've been there myself where you just want to lay around and not do anything. But,
Yeah.
you know, my personal experience has been on those days where I've been fortunate enough to have something, even if it's just going to work or something. Like
Yeah.
once you get moving and get out of that sort of cloud in that spot that
Hmm.
you were in, then
Hmm.
things tend to look up. That you feel better. Your endorphins start kicking in. You interact with people. A lot of
Yeah.
times, I feel like the we create that situation in our minds where we're sitting there, we don't want to do anything, and we just spin about whatever's bothering us, whereas we
Absolutely.
could get out and be interacting with other people and take our minds off of it and taking action to get out of the funk or the cloud or whatever might be going on.
Yeah.
And then when you look back, you're like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better now. And or maybe the fog has lifted.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree, Chris. And this is so important. I mean, everybody needs their rhythm. And I think people just need to get some kind of task, whatever it is, if you don't work, but some kind of task to do get involved in something and have a goal to go there every day, or at least, yeah, a couple days a week, that you have a goal to get up and go there and do it, and it gets better. It really gets. And then when you are at the first step of seeing light, all of a sudden all these things happen to you. I mean, good things. All of a sudden you see this and that, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm a lucky person. This is amazing. And then the light is getting brighter and brighter, and you get there. So it is really, definitely, you get through it. Even at some point, you don't think it is will get light anywhere, anytime soon, but it will get. And once you there, it's fine. Yeah, it's just something. Get going. Even you have no force. Force yourselves and just try to get out.
Yeah, and I think another tip might be to share with somebody that you really trust and appreciate and that will help you through it. Sometimes it's
Absolutely.
just a little nudge that they can give you that will help pull you out of that funk. And
You know, Chris, I have noticed a lot of times that I keep a lot to myself, especially in that time. And then I was really at the point I couldn't handle it anymore. I was like, I need to talk. And every time I did open up, the people said, why didn't you talk about that earlier? Why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you know? And it felt so much weight fell off my shoulders, and I felt so much better to share that actually. And they have different perspectives to solutions maybe or something, and it can help you so much.
oh, definitely. And I think a lot of times we feel like we're the only ones going through the situation.
Yeah,
And I think we would be the only ones if we weren't going through the situations.
absolutely.
Everybody
Yes.
goes through crap.
Everybody has its package.
Exactly. And so,
Yeah.
I can only speak from personal experience. Like sometimes I'm like you, I don't talk about it a lot because I feel like I'm dumping on to other people. I don't want to inconvenience them.
Yeah,
And that's not typically how they receive it when you do open up and share about it. It's not like you're going around whining about something constantly.
absolutely.
It's you have legitimate things going on and people want to help and they want to be there for you. So I would definitely recommend just finding those special people in your lives and sharing with them and let them just help walk through the path with you and you'll come out so much faster.
Absolutely. That is so true. Get help. Don't be ashamed to ask whatever or tell and open up. And people will tell their side, their thought, and it can help so much. You
Definitely.
can especially say, oh, you know what, I didn't see it that way. Actually, it's not. So, because already you're all in your little hole and think the world is just coming down on you. And then other people say, you know what, just do it this way or see it this way and don't worry about that in that way. And then you feel already a lot lighter.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I'd like to listen what you have to say about the fitness because since I said I'm going back into my fitness a lot, swimming, running and everything, so I'm always willing to learn what you have to say and very curious about it.
Well, that's great. So my snappy little fitness segment here is going to be about finding your fitness. So this could be for somebody who's brand new to exercise and fitness. This could be for someone who is looking to add to their current
Okay.
routine or, to expand. So basically, I have 5 questions for you to ask yourself to just kind of help narrow down uh, activities that may best suit you for your goals and desires and what you like to do, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, first question that I want you to ask yourself is, what are your goals? So, are your goals to lose fat? Are they to gain muscle, increase your flexibility, improve your endurance, lower your blood pressure? What are they? Like, identify them, clearly identify them, so that it can help navigate you to the type of activity that's going to help you accomplish that, to complement that. So,
Okay.
for example, if your main goal is to increase flexibility, going out and playing rugby isn't going to probably help you very much,
That's
You
right.
might need to go more down the path of, say, like yoga.
Yoga,
so,
yeah.
so this is just sort of the first tier of narrowing this all down. So, what are your goals? And be specific about it as much as possible. Flexibility is a little challenging, but if you want to, say, lose some body fat, you could say, I want to lose 20 pounds of body fat. It's very specific and you can measure that. Um, Second question that I want you to ask yourself is, are you more of an individual
Oh, yeah.
doer, or do you prefer
Or
team
more in a
settings?
team. Mm-hmm.
So if you like to be in groups and you like to play on teams and whatnot, then you might be more apt to go find a soccer league or a volleyball team or something sports related in that arena where there's a team of people. If you're more individual, you might go and do, downhill skiing, or you might, just do the gym or go ride your bike. Bike riding could be individual or team, depending on
Sure.
what you do.
I mean,
But
even running, to be honest.
yeah, exactly. So running,
Yeah,
you
I
could,
like to, I get in myself in the zone. I run, I'm in the zone. It's like almost meditation for me.
yeah, exactly. So running is a great one for the individual. Or, if there's a fun competition coming along, you might enter in a relay race if you want to be, if you're more of a team person.
Team.
So,
Yeah,
it's just
perfect.
about finding and tweaking those things that really fit to your personality. So first question, I'm just going to repeat them so that they sink in. The first question is, what are your goals? Second one is, are you an individual or team player? Question number 3, do you prefer indoor or outdoor activities? So some people are diehard outdoor folks. They want to go hiking, they want to go mountain climbing, they want to do anything and everything they can outdoors. And so obviously going indoors to a Pilates class may not appeal to them.
Yeah.
However, there are other people, believe it or not, that do not care for the outdoors. They don't want to be out in the sun. They don't want to get bit by bugs.
Yeah.
They're very much more of a controlled climate kind of
Indoor.
person.
Yeah.
And so then, going to a spin class might be more appealing to them than going outside and riding a bike. So,
Hmm.
indoor or outdoor. And again, we're kind of narrowing this down for you. So, number 1, what are your goals? Number 2, are you an individual or team player? Number 3, do you prefer indoor or outdoor activities? And let me also just say here that I'm not suggesting that whatever you pick is the one and only thing that you can do. This can be in addition to what you're doing. You may do some things indoors, you may do some things outdoors. This is just a little bit of a blueprint to help you narrow down what you may enjoy. So, question number 4, what time of day are you typically going to be doing this activity? If you have to go before work and you have to go exercise at 5 a.m., then you probably aren't going to be playing on a recreational dodgeball league, at 5 in the morning,
Yeah.
so that's going to help guide you as well. And where do you live? What is the climate there? These are all factors that come into play. So we're again just kind of drilling down, figuring out what's going to work for you and your conditions. So time of day, and last but not least, what don't you like? So you pretty much know what you do like, but what don't you like? And the reason that I have you ask yourself this question is you can look at it 2 ways. One, if you don't like to, say, row, you may not want to take up kayaking. Um, However, the flip side of this is a lot of times what we don't like can be the things that we need to do the most, right? So when we're weaker in certain areas, we tend to not like them. They don't come as naturally to us. We have to work harder for them.
Sure.
So it's just something to keep in mind. So if I go, I really don't like running. Well, that could be because my endurance isn't very good or my legs get tired or whatever. So it's food for thought in the sense that that may be the thing that you need to work on. And there's been many times where people, for whatever reason, they get into an activity that they don't initially care for, and then they work at it and improve, and then they learn to love it. So it's just something to think about. Now, if you absolutely hate going to the gym, chances are that you're not going to make the extra effort to get there. Especially if you're starting out, you're like, oh my god, I hate going to the gym. I hate it. Well, if you have to get up at 5 a.m. and go work out, you're probably not going to go to the gym.
Yes,
You know,
it's
you
so
might be
true.
better to go out for a run or to ride your bike or something like that. So, just to recap that, number 1, what are your goals so that you can pick an activity that's going to support that. Number 2, individual or a team, so you can head down that path. Number 3, are you indoor or outdoor? Do you prefer indoors or outdoors? Number 4, what time of day would you be doing your activities? And number 5, what don't you like? And so you can give some thought as to whether you want to avoid that activity because you know that you're not going to do it. You know, if you're creating a plan and, like I said, you don't like the gym, well, why even pretend like you're going to go to the gym when you know you're not going to and you hate it, and then you fall off the wagon, so to speak. So those are things to think about, and I think it'll really help kind of guide you towards those activities, those routines, those fitness modalities that you're going to enjoy, you're going to stick with, that are going to fit within your schedule, and ultimately give you the long-term success that you need and are looking for.
Absolutely, Chris. I think that's really, really good points you just mentioned because some people, there's so many options out there, and there's trends and all kinds of things. You have to do this, and this is whatever Taibo. I don't remember when I lived in the US there was Taibo or something. What was it that?
That's been a while ago.
Do you remember?
I do remember.
And you just think, do I have to do this? This is the ultimate thing or whatever. You need to really, like you said, narrow it down. Like make a list, like with a lot of things in your life, you have to make lists and just find out for yourself. I mean, for example, my son, he was such a soccer fan like last year, and that just passed. And now he just doesn't know what he really wants or what his thing is. He's only 8, okay? But here we have a sports club, and he joined them, and they do everything there. They do one day, 1 week, they do this, and the next week they do that, just to find out where his strength is because kids try as well so many things. They want to do one day, they want to do that, the next day they want to do this, and just to find out, narrow it down, find out what do you like, where are you good at, and where do you have the results you want.
Exactly. And sometimes you're curious and you're like, oh, I wonder what this class would be like. Well, go try it. Like, don't be afraid to try something.
Absolutely.
See if you enjoy it, and then if you do, you can add it to your list. If you don't, you can check it off or cross it off your list.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, that's a good point, Chris. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you know what? I have one more thing actually I wanted to say, and that's going into the health direction, and it's just because I'm noticing lately a running nose, and I'm trying to, the whole family a little bit is walking around with running noses, and what always worked for me, some people might know it, is like tea, make your own tea with some really powerful ingredients. I really believe in that, and I think the reason why I have not really fallen sick with a really cold the last few days is thanks to that. And it's basically, I think it's very simple, and for me, I think it tastes also good, very delicious, and it's really powerful. It's heat up some water, add lemon for your vitamin C. Add ginger. Ginger is such a powerful little root. I don't know how you say that. Is this a spice or is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a spice that you get.
It's a spice.
Yeah.
Okay. And add that. And what I do is I peel it, like maybe 2-inch. I peel. Now I have to find the English word for that. I kind of like shred it.
Yeah. So shred or grate it.
Grated, yes, exactly. And I take this grated stuff in my hands and I squeeze the juice out. For me, this is the most intense taste of ginger, because if I just throw in the pieces, for me that takes forever till it gets a little bit of flavor of the ginger. So I just really squeeze the juice, so I have the concentrated juice into that hot water and the lemon, and I add a little bit of honey. raw honey, it's really antibacterial. Bacterial, do you say that?
Yep.
It takes out your bacteria, so whatever you have, if it's a virus or whatever, it really can take these. You don't need to take antibiotics basically. And also, if you're for the very brave, add some turmeric. That is the ultimate anti-inflammatory spice. And this power drink, you drink it hot and you back up running in no time. I give that, no kidding. My son, when he runs a little fever, or if he has a fever, he drinks it. For example, he doesn't like it, but I make him drink it. And sometimes he does have a fever. He drinks it, he sleeps, he gets up, he's fine. Not kidding you. I mean, we had that happen, and he had a pretty high fever. I mean, kids run it fast, high, and then they're fine. But with this, it's for me really a magic drink. And I just wanted to let you know, now the cold season starts. It starts here where I am. I did drink it every day, and I'm really fine. I mean, I have a little runny nose, but I think if I wouldn't drink that, I would be laying in bed. So I just wanted to add that.
So when you said you do the ginger, you grate it and then you squeeze it in your hands?
Yes, the grated ginger
Uh-huh.
basically is just little pieces, and I put it in my hand. I mean, in my fist, and I squeeze it, and the juice comes out. There's ginger juice coming out, and for me, it is the most intense flavor of ginger. It's like concentrated,
Yeah.
and and you can even, after the grated little things you have in your hand, you can still add those if you like to have a little bit of pieces of ginger. But for me, this is adding so much flavor of the ginger, and excuse me, and it's concentrated, and you can really taste it, and I love it. I just really love the taste. The beginning I had to get used to because it was a little spicy and everything, but the more I drink it, the more I really like it.
And then you said sometimes you add turmeric?
I eat turmeric. Yes, I eat. I'm adding turmeric as well. Turmeric. I have also, for those who know turmeric, I mean, it comes grated already or in a powder.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I did the other day was maybe not so clever. They come out in roots. They look a little bit like ginger. And I try to do the same thing as I do with ginger. I peeled it, but this stuff is so orange, it really colors your hands, and you run around with yellow hands for days because you can't wash it off. Don't get it on your clothes because it's really worse than red wine. And yeah, so I was running around with yellow hands, and somebody said, "Do you have yellow fever or something?" I'm like, "No, it's just trying to be clever and do my own turmeric." So yeah, wear gloves.
Yeah. Or use the
And
powder.
yes, or use the powder. That's what I do now, to
Yeah.
be honest.
And the
Even I
other
was so proud of my little roots, but
Yeah.
I use the powder. Yes, use the powder, and mix it a little bit with a spoon because it settles down, and then yeah, just enjoy.
And then the other thing I was going to mention, you said you put in raw honey, which is awesome food. Uh, a lot of people may not be aware if you can find local raw honey that it
Yeah,
really helps with allergies because the allergens are in the bee pollen, so you're taking these like little tiny doses of your local allergens, and so your body builds
absolutely.
up an immunity to it. So
Absolutely.
local raw honey is a great thing to take, whether it's in your tea or if you put it in pretty much anything. Um, the only thing to stay away from is you never want to feed honey to a baby, a child under the age of 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's sticky. They cannot breathe. They cannot. No.
Well, and there's a form of like I can't remember off the top of my head what it is. I want to say it's like botulism or something. It's like something
Yeah.
that doesn't bother adults or normal immune systems, but for babies, it's just too early.
It's not,
Yeah.
not yet. Yeah. No, it's funny that you mentioned that with allergies and everything, Chris. I have been suffering from sinus infection for the past 5 years. I never had it. All of a sudden it came, and in every summer when the pollen, is that how you say it?
Pollen. Uh huh.
Pollen come out, and I just had this major headache, and my head was all plugged up, and it was just every summer I was suffering, and I started drinking my little mixture. What I also add, but we should have that maybe in a different section one day, is apple cider vinegar. I added cider vinegar and honey to my drink, and this year I had nothing. And a lot of people in the area said this is the worst allergy season because we had a pretty mild winter this year in Europe. And yes, and then the pollen were flying around everywhere. I had nothing. I'm so happy. I mean, I wait for next year, but I do believe that um, all this I started a year and a half ago, and I was really frequently drinking that it helped me this year.
Yeah,
That's my first year since 5 years.
that's awesome.
That is really awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of things still to talk about, but we keep that for another time.
So basically, your immunity boosting drink is tea. So you're making your own tea. You're not even putting in tea leaves. You're just doing lemon, ginger, sometimes turmeric, and raw
Exactly.
honey.
Yes.
Okay.
These are my ingredients, and trust me, I love it. It is such a, and ginger is also so warming. I'm always freezing, and I drink that, and it keeps me warm from the inside. It's so cozy for these cold days. I just love it. I'm totally in love with it. Hot water, lemon, ginger, turmeric, and raw honey, and you're good to go. And I like the flavor. It's delicious.
Well, I'll have to give it a try, and we'll see how delicious it is.
Yes, I can wait to hear you. All
Awesome. And then
right.
you were
Well,
also,
guys, give us our feedback.
yeah.
Chris, you have a blog and a Facebook page.
Yeah. So in our earlier podcast, we had a Wellness Factor exclusive Facebook page, but we took it down just because it was a lot of work to keep up in addition to our own. So we will be posting these podcasts on our own Facebook pages, so you
Hmm.
can see them at Health Coaching Paris Facebook page,
Absolutely.
or you can see it at CK Health and Fitness. And I'm going to be posting it also on my website under the blog section. So you can find it there. And of course, we're on iTunes. So if you have iTunes, it makes it even easier. You can just subscribe, and these podcasts will update automatically as they are released.
Perfect. Exactly. So we're looking forward to hearing from you. Guys, give us our feedbacks, or if any questions or suggestions, or you want to hear something we talk about, please let us know. It always helps us, and it's always a pleasure.
Yes, definitely. We love to get questions and feedback, and the questions really help us make this relevant for you guys. So shoot them over to us. We'll do our best to get you the the answers, and yeah, just we'll tailor this for you guys.